Before we start the show, we'd like to thank our sponsors for 2025. SEBA, the Southeastern Beefmaster Breeders Association. Jones Beefmasters, Mr. Clark Jones of Savannah, Tennessee. Valor Cattle Company with Jordan Taylor in Hahira, Georgia. Rockin' RB Cattle Company, Crosby, Texas. Beef, the Beefmaster Education Endowment Fund. Our host, JCS Farms Beefmasters, Jared Strickland, Savannah, Tennessee. Emmons Ranch Beefmasters, Fairfield, Texas. Cottage Farms Beefmasters, Jackson, Tennessee. Lissy's Beefmasters, Stockdale, Texas. C&M Ranches, Kershaw, South Carolina. Our other host, G&M Cattle Company, Josh Morrison, Taylorsville, North Carolina. And Sea Shepherd Beefmasters, McAllen, Texas. Thank you for all your support. We couldn't do it without you. Welcome to Beefmaster Banner. We're your hosts, Josh Morrison and Jared Strickland. How's it going, Jared?
It's going good. I finally cussed some hay today.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do that forever, it seems like.
Well,
But
we're really gonna have people confused because we've recorded 2 days in a row, and
that's
they're
true.
gonna be like, "I thought he was cutting hay a long time ago."
It may seem that way. Who knows? It may be cutting hay by the time it comes out again. I don't know. It was thick though. It was good.
Awesome.
Maybe we'll
Awesome.
get it up.
It's still raining here. It rains every day here now, which I'm not going to complain, but it does.
I think we might have kicked it towards you
Well, that's all right. We'll
for a
take
few
it.
days anyway.
We'll absolutely take it. Well, tonight we have 2 guests, which is fantastic. We always love more than one, but we're going to be talking all things JBBA with the JBBA Nationals right around the corner. Maybe y'all could have a sale one day. That could be a good thing. But we have the current and outgoing president, Weston Brooks, and we have Kylie Bassett. And I have asked what her actual title is. We're just going to say she is over the JBBA. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Doing great. Thank y'all for taking time out of your evening to come on here. We always love to talk about the JBBA, and I always like to have it at least once a year, on here. And it's something that a lot of folks, again, kind of like we talked about with beef, it's something a lot of folks know about, but maybe they don't know the details. They don't know. All they know is we have a JBBA. So it's always good to get you all on and talk about it. And what I'd like to do is, Kylie, since you're new, and Weston, you've never been on here, I would love to hear y'all's backstories. Whoever wants to go first can go. But I'd love to hear the backstories growing up, how you came to the breed, and how you kind of got to where you are now.
Weston, the floor is yours.
Floor's mine. All righty. Well, I guess I'll just start with where I started showing. I started showing when I was 8 years old. I wasn't a legacy Beefmaster kid or anything. My parents were both in 4-H and FFA, so they really wanted me to get that same experience. I actually started with pigs, funny enough, but very quickly I took on to cattle, and after about a year or so of doing that locally, I decided that I wanted to step up to the major stage and run the Texas major circuit. And living down in Southeast Texas, we really needed a breed that could flourish down there. And we reached out to a lot of good family friends, and luckily we got pointed in the direction of Beefmasters. And so I started showing Beefmasters back when I was 12 years old, and got in with some really great folks who have mentored me through the way and got me going to my first nationals and everything. And I've really taken off since then. It's become a big passion of mine, and I'd say really changed the trajectory of my life. But now I'm a student at Oklahoma State University studying animal science, and I hope to one day be able to work in the beef industry. So this has been a really great experience for me and kind of shaped me into who I am today.
That's awesome, Wes. And I'm glad you're able to share that story because, we tell folks all the time, this is the future of the beef industry right here is our JBBA members. And you kind of fit that mold really well, starting out, getting into the cattle at a young age and working your way on up and wanting to come back into the beef industry. So kudos to you and wish you the best. But we really appreciate you sharing that story so people see how well that the JBBA is molding young folks.
Absolutely.
Well, and it also shows too that, you don't have to have, you can start in the Beefmaster breed anytime. It don't matter. You're obviously not generational in the Beefmaster breed, so it's really cool. And I'm sure hope a lot of kids hear this, especially young kids that are looking for something like that. And I hope that really makes them think about it for sure.
Absolutely. That's one thing I like to boast about Beefmasters, especially to new members or a lot of my friends in college who show other breeds, is it's very accessible, and it's a great breed to get started in, and to get to learn a lot of good things.
All right. Well, Kylie, your turn.
So I grew up in like northwest suburban Houston. I started showing hogs in high school. I'm actually a first generation FFA member, agriculturalist, and that was not something that my family did. So kind of came out of left field wanting a pig for when I got into high school. Raised pigs all through high school and did all sorts of FFA stuff. Then after graduating, I went to Sam Houston to get my animal science degree, and I studied animal science with a focus on pre-vet, and I started showing cattle with Sam Houston State. We showed Black Angus, traveled around with them. After graduating, I stayed to do my master's and did a master's of agriculture with a focus and research on general animal science. I did a couple different research projects, and I was also asked to coach our collegiate livestock judging team. So I did that for 2 years, and we traveled. We had one traveling team that we took to all of the major livestock judging contests. And so that was where kind of I started to develop my love for American cattle, because I had shown haired cattle, but most of those livestock judging contests are down in the South, so I got to see a lot of American cattle and start developing a love for them. And then after graduating, I moved over to Beefmasters, and I've been here since July.
That's awesome. And also I like hearing the story, being kind of the first in the family to want to be in the agriculture business. We actually need a lot more of that if going in the future, so that's awesome.
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about a lot of young folks that don't, the generation now is just not that especially around here that I've noticed, most of them are not even thinking about the agriculture world. They're thinking about tech and AI is where they're at. And so I hope that, we can continue, especially the Beefmaster breed and JBBA can continue to attract younger people. If we can start them in JBBA, just like we had Alyssa Lissy on here, I think about a year ago, roughly. And she was talking about how she started in the juniors and now look where they're at. So, I mean, it's really cool to see that you can go from, showing as the first year you can show to the sky's the limit.
No, I completely agree. Me and my sister both. I kind of paved the way for her. She did really well with her steers and is now me and her both are figuring out our way to keep building and keep doing.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I guess just to kind of open the floor up, either one of y'all can kind of go with this, but tell us something about what JBBA is and what some things y'all got coming up.
So JBBA is the youth program for kind of umbrella under the Beefmaster Breeders United. We've got sanctioned shows throughout the year. So any of the active junior members are able to come and show at these shows. It's Beefmaster only, so you're competing against just Beefmasters, as well as we have a E6 and Advancer class at most of these shows that are sanctioned by JBBA, so that you're just showing with those E6s or Advancers. We also do a couple different programs throughout the year, including the AI program. That's a discounted semen program that we sell. We get semen donated by different breeders, and they're sold at a discounted rate to kind of give our juniors the ability to expand their genetics to animals they may not have the opportunity to have gotten on their own. As well as we've got our junior board, which Weston's a part of, and he can kind of talk more about his role in the junior board and what he's been doing. And then Nationals coming up is our Beefmaster National show coming up in July.
Awesome. Weston, you want to kind of go into telling us sort of, I think it would be interesting to hear. First off, you can do this in any order. I'd like, I think it'd be neat to hear, what you've learned the most being president, what you kind of the legacy you hope to leave behind. Because you did say you were outgoing. I'm assuming you're outgoing at the show, the national show at some point.
Yes, sir.
Sort of what attracted you to, hey, I'd like to run for president, and then if you would kind of go into nominations, how the nomination process works, how the voting process works, and that kind of stuff, and we can interject and talk anytime y'all want to, but I would like to hear a lot of that if you'll tell us.
For sure. I'd say becoming president has definitely been a process for me. I mean, ever since that very first nationals, like I was hooked on the JBBA. And at that very first nationals, the current president back then was Raleigh Shearer, who is kind of a mentor to me. And so I believe a year, maybe two after that is when we rolled out the ambassador program. And I was one of the very first JBBA junior ambassadors, which is it's like a middle school, early high school program for those kids who kind of want to get a taste of JBBA leadership without being a director. So they're not quite of age to be a director, and it's so that they can get a taste of what that might be like. And after being an ambassador for a year, I was old enough to become a director. So I did that. And pretty soon after that, I started looking at running for office, and believe I went straight up to secretary. And so I was secretary for a year. And after that, ran for the president-elect and subsequently became president. So it's been a long process for sure. I've held just about everything that I could have as far as offices go in the different ranks. But for me, one thing that I'm really big on as far as leaving a legacy is kind of that mentorship. Coming into JBBA, like I talked about before, I didn't really have many ties, and I was just a kid with big aspirations, I guess. And I had some folks just really take me under their wing, make me feel welcome. Multiple different great stories about different members just really helping me out through my time in JBBA. And I wanted to be able to give that back. And so being able to hold these positions and kind of be looked up to by a lot of our members, and being able to help them out, be a helping hand, and be there for them is something that I really take a lot of pride and joy in, and hopefully instill a passion in them for the JBBA and kind of inspire that next, not quite generation, because it's still my own generation, but next generation of leaders within the association, so we can continue to pave forward and really make this association the best that it can be for our members.
Man, that's great. I really appreciate you sharing your story there, and you work your way up the rank, and just anybody listening that's a young kid that wants to get in, you can do the same thing, and learn. And like you said, mold your way up and learn a lot of things. We was talking about the JBA Nationals coming up. Could y'all give us a little overview of that?
Yeah, I can. So we have nationals typically at the end of July every year. This year, I believe it's the 20th through the 25th. We're going to be in Mercedes, Texas, so way down south. And it's going to be a big old Beefmaster fiesta. So, I mean, besides obviously we're going to have our junior show, so our own show, and then we also have Bred and Own show for those kids who have maybe been a part of the JBBA for a few years. They get to show off their own genetics. That's always a fan favorite. We've got our E6 and Advancer show, and then the Bull show as well, Bred and Own Bull show. But besides that, one thing that's at nationals that I really love, take a lot of pride and joy in, is the different competitions that we have. We have a lot of leadership development type events. We have a livestock judging contest. Public speaking is always a big one. Our Beefmaster Skillathon, sales talk. I'm probably missing quite a few, but there's a lot of great contests for our kids to do and learn and really develop in, besides just showing cattle. And if you are able to participate in all of those, we have our all-around exhibitor contest, which is a great way for kids who might not have a super high caliber of cattle to still be competitive in something. And that was one of my very favorite things to do, because I could put in a lot of work with things like showmanship and studying and knowing my speech really well, to still be competitive in something. But for a lot of other folks, we're rolling out something new this year, and that's going to be our Premier Exhibitor program. So for the people who are just there for the cattle, they're gung-ho and have a big old show string they want to show off, we have a new award. The person who has the most, I guess, consistent high placings is able to compete for another award. So we've got a little bit of something for everything at nationals, or a little bit of something for everybody at nationals. And it's a great experience. Probably one of my favorite times of the year.
That's awesome. And, it's a little something for everybody. And that's what's really cool is doesn't matter if you're brand new, if you're been there for, years like you have. I mean, it sounds like there's just a little something for everybody. Kylie, go ahead, Jared.
I was just going to say, y'all were looking for sponsors still too, right?
Absolutely.
Back that plug.
That's actually exactly where I was headed to, so we're good. Yeah, I mean, spend your money, people. No, I'm just kidding. We just got done. Thankfully, we were able to. We actually just had a conversation about this before the show, that we were thankful and blessed enough with our sponsors to be able to provide you guys a sponsorship. I'm sure it's not a drop in the bucket to what some people do, but we were really proud to be able to do that. And people, listen, it's just like, I guess I'll be like we were on the beef episode. Your money is going straight to these kids and straight to the association, and in turn, in an indirect way, it's still going to help you as a breeder long term, because you've got people coming up here that, they may be the next great breeder, and you don't want to take that away from them. So anything you can, I'm sure there's sponsorships of all levels. Kylie, do you kind of want to go through that?
Yeah, we'll take we have sponsorship levels starting at friend of JBBA, which can be as little as $1 up to, we have corporate and executive sponsors that are 15,000 plus. I mean, every donation is important to us. We also have some title sponsors. You can sponsor one of our events throughout the week. One of them is Fun Night. That is, by registering for the show, that is included. That is something that JBBA does to allow for everybody to just get out and have a good time. It's a big social. This year we're gonna have a carnival theme with lots of food, lots of games. We're doing bounce houses and mechanical bull riding and all sorts of things, just so that, you know, it's not just a cattle show. We want everybody to get together and socialize and do all that. So that's one of the things you can sponsor, along with you can sponsor any of our meals, or even just general sponsors from friend of JBBA to gold, bronze, platinum, those things. And there's actually a sponsorship form that's located on our JBBA website under the Nationals page. Each sponsorship comes with different thank yous and tokens of our gratitude from JBBA. Some of those include ads in our show program or shout outs on our social media, things like that. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to me at the BBU office, or you can go look online on our website and kind of go through that packet.
And we will say she is very patient, because we run her through the ringer the other day trying to figure out what we wanted to do. So she's very patient with you, which is very good. So thank you for being patient with us while we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do. But Kylie, so we can swing back around to this, but I want to switch gears for just a second. With you being the director over the JBBA at the BBU office, you're brand new, and I'm trying not to put you on the spot too bad, but I would love to hear what are you most excited about, especially being new. What are you most excited about looking to the future, as you know, being able to direct this program and guide it in, you know, in hopefully in the next few years here.
Yeah, I mean, my first really few weeks at BBU and working with JBBA, I was kind of baptism by fire. I was here at the office for a week, and then I went straight off to nationals to kind of shadow what the previous administration and board was doing. And I immediately found out that Beefmaster is a huge family. And I mean, everybody says that about their breed or their association, but I have never seen the sort of relationships and support from any other organization. And so I'm really excited to foster that sort of atmosphere and grow the breed, and just really get as many juniors involved in JBBA, but also more involved in the BBU association as well. We've started going to more sales and trying to stay involved with the breed as much as we can, building our leadership programs. That's something that I really want to do. Outside of nationals, having some sort of leadership events and outreach to grow the breed in that way.
Awesome. Something I would like to see at some point, and I know it's hard because probably the majority of your juniors is Midwest, but I would love to see, you know, at some point, if we could somehow try to figure out how to grow JBBA kind of towards the Southeast as much as it's growing. I think that would be a really cool thing as well.
Oh, I think absolutely. I mean, we've got one of our ambassadors, Wes Compton, he's out in Mississippi, and we've got Briley McKee in Louisiana, and I would like to see it more than just two of our directors are out of state. And we've got cattle that are driving in from Florida this year to nationals.
Wow.
I was looking at the entries earlier this week.
That's awesome.
And I would like it to be more than just one family from Florida coming in. I want every state involved and becoming more active outside of Texas.
I'm in the process of trying to talk our niece into switching. Which there's not really any shows around here, and she's been showing. She's got a really, really good friend, and I'll just tell you, she's been showing Herefords the last few years, and I would love to see her show a Beefmaster, because it's easy. We've got them.
Yeah.
We can make that happen a lot easier. But I'm hoping that I would love to see it grow this way, and even grow always. But it seems to be the Southeast is really blooming right now as far as getting the breeders back, especially look into like you were talking about Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. I mean, it's just there's tons of new breeders coming into North Carolina, South Carolina. So it's really cool to see that happening because the more that happens, the better this breed's going to get. The more juniors we're going to get, the bigger this thing's going to get.
Mhm.
That's something I've been real fortunate to kind of work with here the past couple of years. Going out of state for college. I mean, most of the time I've been in JBBA, it's been real predominantly kind of a Texas organization. But coming up to Oklahoma, I've been able to really kind of be able to have a relationship with some of the kids up here, over in Arkansas and even in Missouri. Traveling to some of their shows and events. It's small, but it's definitely growing. And it's really awesome to see them foster that. And I'm hoping that we can get them more involved in the coming years as well as we expand up and out.
No, that's great. I hope y'all are very successful with that because more involvement, the better we got, better we get, you know.
Absolutely. Kind of as we start wrapping up the show, as I said earlier, I told you guys y'all weren't going to put you on the spot, but there is one question that I would like to ask y'all, and I would love to hear. If you don't know right now, that's fine. We can get it later. Especially with with the going with the way this is with the JBBA. Can y'all give one piece of advice to, I'm not even going to say a new breeder. I'm going to say a kid that's thinking about starting or that, is just nervous about getting going, don't have a clue about Beefmasters. What is one piece of advice you could give them?
I'd just go out on a limb and say jump right in the deep end. JBBA, as we talked about, is a huge family. Just come up to anybody at shows, really. I mean, come up to me. We can get you shown around, like make a lot of friends, give you tips on feeding. Everybody's willing to help. I mean, showmanship tips, anything. Um, Everybody in JBBA is really looking to help one another in one way or other. It's a super welcoming atmosphere. And it's because we were welcome like that when we all first started. So it's do unto others as was done unto you. I mean, really welcome others in with open arms. We're happy to have them. So if you're on the verge, just go for it. Come to nationals, come to sanction shows. We can get you clicked right in.
Kylie,
That's
what do you have a piece of advice?
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of tag team off of what Weston said. Get involved. I mean, I don't know anybody that regrets trying. I think the regrets that you typically hear about or that I have for myself are things that I didn't end up doing. For the fact that it was uncomfortable or I didn't think I would do well. But you never know until you try, and just 100% get involved.
That's awesome. That's really good. And something that's really cool to me is over the years we've had, and I say years, this is actually year 4. So over the last few years, every JBBA president, vice president, or president-elect, sorry, that we have had the same message. And it's really cool because it's not a click. There's not clickiness in the, I've not even been to a show and I can tell you there's not clicks like you have at school. There's not, like you may have in other things. I mean, you all want to involve everybody, and it's really cool to see that you're willing and you have the heart to want to help everybody. Kylie, that's pretty cool, and that's probably something you saw as well coming in. Is it's just amazing that the togetherness, I guess, is a good word for it, that the JBBA members have.
Absolutely. Everybody knows everybody and everybody's friends with everybody. And I was surprised at like the people that I knew coming in that I didn't realize I knew were in Beefmasters. Everybody that I know in JBBA has some connection in it's just amazing how big and widespread this organization goes.
And
Yes.
just kind of add to that, I really enjoyed having all the leaders come on here with JBBA and how well they do on this podcast, and it shows the development that they get in this organization and becoming outstanding young leaders, and it's kind of I guess it's a good example of how JBBA forms our young folks into good leaders and outspoken well, come on here and spread what they're doing,
And it's not just showing cattle; it goes far beyond that, and that's what's really, really, really special about the JBBA is it goes far beyond that. You teach, you get taught Weston. I'm sure you could probably tell stories of life lessons you learned, and
A bunch of them.
yeah. And I mean, how you were welcomed when you first came in, especially from coming from pigs to cattle. How you were welcomed coming in. I mean, it's truly a testament to what the JBBA is and just how special it is. But we're just about out of time. I really appreciate y'all coming on tonight. We really appreciate y'all coming on tonight and taking time out of your evenings to do so. It's really always a special episode when we can do these, because I hope that a lot of people get something good out of this, because we try to, show folks. We try to always spin things in a positive light, even if it's hard conversation. This obviously wasn't, but it's always fun to see, the young generation working through the ranks, working through everything, wanting to be a president, wanting to be a president-elect, wanting to be an ambassador, because that just shows that you have leadership skills and drive to be a leader from early on, and that's going to do nothing but make us know that we can stick you on some committees whenever you roll into the roll off the JBBA.
Committees are fresh on the mind, ain't they?
That's right. That's right. Fresh on the mind. We're still a couple days away, but no, honestly, all jokes aside, we really appreciate y'all coming on and taking time out of your evening to do so.
Well, thank you for
Appreciate y'all
having us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We will do it again. And looks like we're gonna get some more rain this evening, so we're gonna go batten down the hatches and hang out. But
There you go.
again, thank y'all. If you have any questions as far as nationals wanting to be a sponsor, please get with Kylie. Kylie Bassett, you can call. Sorry, it's Sikes, isn't it?
It is Sikes now.
Sorry.
Yeah, as of November, it's still new.
I didn't mess up too bad, so it was Bassett.
It was Bassett, and I'm noticing that
I
my computer still says it.
I only slightly panicked when I said that.
Hey, at this point, I go by both.
Awesome. Well, just ask for Kylie. They will get you where you need to go. But she will help you any way you can. If you can make it out to the nationals and support these kids, please do, because it's a very good thing, and I feel like that shows a really cool thing to even be a part of. So, I guess we'll see everybody on the next episode.
Appreciate y'all.
Well, we want to thank everybody for listening to the Beefmaster Banner podcast. Please know that we are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and we are on YouTube. Just search Beefmaster Banner. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We love hearing from you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.